parents and community members of Peninsula Prep Academy Charter School. I'm Mrs. Jones, and I'm here to deliver a video message to you regarding some questions that I know parents have had and shared with us when we did our parent survey. Just wanted to say about the surveys, we're going to be sending them out often because during this time, as I promised back in the summer, we want to know how you're thinking and what kinds of things we need to do better at our commitment to educate our children well. So I have the copy of the survey, and I want to thank all of the parents who decided to participate, and we hope that we have more as each month goes on. While it's very nice to know what the concerns are, those shout outs and good job, and we can see that you all are working really hard, comments go a long way as well. So I'm going to start at the top. We had representation from every grade level, the most from grade 3 and the fewest from kindergarten. So if you want to have a voice, I'm sorry, I'm looking at this. Yeah, that's correct. If you want to have a voice, it's necessary that you use it. I have the survey results, and while most of our parents and families approve of or are satisfied with the things that we're doing, I have slivers of blue at each statement. My child's academic needs are satisfactorily addressed. Just about all of our parents felt that they were, but I did have these few parents who did not feel that they were. Now, in order for me to fix that, it would help if I knew specifically what you're talking about or in what grade level. So Ms. Jones is going to put on Dojo a place where you can communicate directly with me, and you don't have to worry about confidentiality because I'll be the only one who can access this site. So if there's some things that you are concerned about, especially having your child's needs met, you need to let me know where this is and specifically what are the issues. The amount of time my child spends doing homework is reasonable. Well, most parents felt that they were okay with the homework and the time that their children spent. But I still had that sliver of parents who felt like homework is too much. And I'm going to address that in my later comments. The school clearly communicates events and activities and keeps me informed. Thankfully, and I feel okay with this, the vast majority of parents agreed that we do communicate with you and let you know what it is that we're doing. Excuse me. But there still is a sliver of parents who feel that we do not keep them informed, and they strongly disagreed that we do not keep them informed. Well, parents, we send out information on Dojo, we send out newsletters, teachers have class pages, and you have to go to those places in order to get the information. So some of this, I don't know how we can address it, but if you need us to communicate with you in a different way than those that I've mentioned, please let us know and we'll see what we can do to accommodate you. My child's teacher clearly communicates with me and lets me know what is going on and how to best work with my child. Just about all of our parents agreed that teachers are doing what they should do to communicate with them. There's still that little small line of those parents or parent or two that feel like they need something more. My child's specialty teacher clearly communicates with me and lets me know what's going on and how best to work with my child. And that seems to be a major issue. So that is something that I will communicate with teachers, because it is sent to me and sent to the teachers exactly what the specialty schedule is going to be on a weekly basis. The specialty teachers wanted to make sure that they had a chance to see every child. So the schedule for specialty classes changes every week. So I will reiterate to the teachers again to be sure that they communicate in those various ways on Dojo, on their class page, or on the website, what are the specialty schedules for that week. When I reach out for technical assistance, I am able to get the support I need in a reasonable amount of time. Well, as far as I know, parents are getting what they need. We have Miss Jones and we have Mr. Peduano, who are doing what they can in order to service parents if there are problems. But there's some responsibilities that also sit at the home. We had a tablet come in where the tablet had been dropped on the floor and the screen was broken. We have parents who never let us know that they need technology. Right now, there is no more technology in the building. And as soon as I just spoke with Mr. Pierre today, in our attempt to get more Chromebooks, we feel that our children like those a lot better. They're more easy to keep from getting broken, but there is a huge backlog on getting Chromebooks. There's one company that we've been doing business with that's trying to take advantage of us. What they've done is tack $100 on top of every Chromebook purchase. And that total was going to come to $45,000. So Mr. Pierre and Mr. Peduano are searching throughout all of their networks to see if we can get Chromebooks at a reasonable price, at a reasonable figure. The DOE, the Departments of Education across the country get first dibs before we get it. So it could very well be that really there aren't any. And when you push companies to go too fast, you get a subpar product. And we definitely don't want that. We need it to do what it needs to do. But at this moment, we have no more technology in our building to give out. Okay. So now I want to go to some of the comments that parents made and questions that they asked. I was so happy that the first one said, "Thank you for all that you're doing. I can tell that your staff is working hard," and that was a good one to start with. Thank you to that parent. She wishes that we had more funding so that we could receive all of the resources that we need. But as I've said before that, we can't get any more Chromebooks. And there just aren't any out there that we can get, but we're on it. We're doing everything we can every day. Mr. Pierre and Mr. Peduano today spoke with a vendor regarding those Chromebooks. So we're on it, we're working on it, okay? And I agree with the mom who says their child will not be back in school until the governor says it's safe to come. I'm in that group too. And so are all of your teachers. We want to make sure that 11691 is no longer a hot zone, a red zone, or a orange zone, or a yellow zone. People need to wear masks and do what they need to do, because that is the reason why we're not in school, because the COVID rate of infection so significantly increased in 11691. So I'm right there with you, mom, dad, parents, family. Until the governor says it's good, we're not going, okay? Now I'll go to this. The middle school directory has not been published yet. Ms. Reeves checks the school websites. She's contacted the Board of Education, the Department of Education, and they have not put that directory together just yet. But as soon as it's done, I promise you, we will get it out to you. There was a concern that a parent had about children not paying attention. Well, I want you to know that our teachers are doing all that they can to keep kids engaged and to keep them attending. Not all children have the pleasure and the support of a parent sitting with them, helping them stay on task, helping them to understand what's going on. And most of the time when children are distracted and off track and not doing what they need to do, it's really because they don't understand what's going on. And they're too embarrassed to say, I don't understand. When we were back in the school, and if I was ever in a classroom, and there were periods of time where I was in the classroom, I always attempted to encourage children that teachers are paid to answer their questions. And if they don't understand something, it is their responsibility to raise their hand and ask. I know kids are always concerned about them being the only one, but trust me, there's always more than one person in the classroom that does not understand. So boys and girls, teachers get paid to answer your questions. So if you have a question, please answer, ask the question so that you can get an answer. And if you're not getting the answer, let your parents know. They need to let me know. Okay? Okay. A parent wanted to know about the progress in us getting our school building ready. Our school building, except for the hallways right now, because we're still doing construction, we built an isolation room onto the nurse's office so that children can be isolated while we're waiting for parents to come. And if there's some other things that happen with children, there is a safe place for them to be in the nurse's office. So that construction is going on. We stole Mr. Peduano and Mr. Cervoni's and Ms. Jones's office to build in, taking their space to house the isolation room for the nurse. She's happy. She's very happy with it. For the classrooms, they are cleaned. They've been sprayed. The repairs are finished. The roof, they're still working on. But if it's a day like today, no work is happening. So they're still working on it. And as I said at the last parent meeting, some of the holdup is that you have to wait for inspectors to come in to give their okay, especially for a school building. So they can't go forward until the city comes in with its inspectors and said, okay, everything is done, you can move on to the next thing. So we're held up by the inspectors, but they're still working on the roof. The classrooms are set up, the desks are there. Remember, we're supplying masks, face shields, and guards that go around the student's desk. So that will be on every desk so that and they're clear, so no child will feel isolated or they can hide behind a screen. So those are being installed. there was a mom who texted me and said, Mrs. Jones, why are you having pickups on the days when we have to be there with our children? Duh. I'm sorry. Didn't think about that. So I was so happy that she said that. So we will do any pickups on the half days when we're doing professional development so that your child is not in front of their teacher at the same time. Please forgive me, parents. I just didn't think about that. But now that someone brought it to my attention, we have changed that, and we will only have pickups on those days. The next day that we have for half day will be November the 4th. We have a PD that day as our teachers get training on our brand new reading program, Wonders. So that will be the next pickup day, November the 4th. And it will be between 1 and 3. Okay? All right. Another mother asked me about having math moved to the morning. Well, for some classes, it is in the morning, and others it isn't. There are a lot of moving parts when we do schedules. We have people who come into the classrooms and work with teachers and students, but they're working also with other classes. Specialty teachers need to be able to fold into these schedules. So where scheduling occurs, where certain classes are happening, think beyond just your child's class. We have 15 other classes that have to fit into this schedule. So what it is what it is. Moving on, I've already spoken about the devices. Yes, we're still waiting on them. Yes, we are venturing out. Mr. Pierre has already given me heads up that some of us may have to go to these places that only let you buy 5. And so there'll have to be many of us who go out and get the 5 so that we can get the discounts that make it feasible for us to get a lot. So we're working on every strategy that we can garner in order to get additional Chromebooks. We're not getting any more tablets. In fact, when the Chromebooks come in, we're gonna ask for the tablets to come back. But here's how we're gonna do it. When the kids come in, when we finally have in-person learning, and that may be in November, that's when we'll swap out the tablets for Chromebooks. And because student work is in Google Classroom, their work won't be lost. There's nothing to download. There's nothing to upload. They will do it with their tablet. With their Chromebook. I just got my granddaughter a laptop she's now in high school, and she needed something besides her mother's hand-me-down. And I was concerned. I was there trying to see about getting Microsoft all of the PowerPoint and Word, and they all told me, kids don't use that anymore because everything is in the cloud. So I'm learning to. I did get a message from a parent about homework on the weekends being a lot. Well, for 4th and 5th grade, we will give them homework, but I'll ask teachers to dial it down some because kids do need an opportunity to sit around and watch TV because I know they're not going anywhere. The little ones, I will ask the teachers to really dial back on weekend homework, unless it's a project. But I don't want them sitting for hours in front of a laptop either. And a parent said that it's hard. Yes, trust me, it's hard for the kids. It's also hard for these teachers. Our teachers are feeling very challenged. They say that it's more planning to get ready for remote learning than it is for in-person learning. So we're all feeling it, but it's also due to the fact that this is something we've never done before. So it makes it, when you don't know how to do something fluidly, it does feel hard. But this seems to be our new normal. And we're moving into the 21st century. And many, many of the new jobs of which we have no idea what they'll be by the time our children are in the workforce, believe me, this is where they're going to be, in front of a computer, doing what they need to do. As I said earlier, I really do appreciate some of the positive shout outs that so many of you have given to our teachers, and you've called them by name. So that's a good feeling, and it gives me great joy to pass on your messages of encouragement to the teachers. They need to have a little pat on the back as well, not only from me, but also from you. Teachers, a parent wanted to know, is in-person learning going to have the same teacher as remote learning? Yes. In fact, something that we're looking for, and I'm hoping I'm remembering it correctly, it's called a follow me camera, something where the camera will follow the teacher around the room so that our remote children are getting the benefit of, we want it to feel as much like in-person learning as we can. So we are looking for that technology. Mr. Pierre says he's getting some, I can't think of the word to describe, specs. He's expecting specs on how these cameras work, how we can get them, and try to cut a deal with the company so that all of our teachers can have them. We don't want children at home whose parents have chosen for their own personal reasons to keep their children home. And my granddaughter is one of them. Her mother is not letting her back into school. And she's the mama. I have no influence on that. But I do understand. She tells me when I come to her house, I don't have to come to her house in a mask. And that's because she wears one when she goes to work all day, and she doesn't let her daughter out the house. So I get it. This was a good one. A parent asked, how come homework isn't done in these workbooks? And I agree. That's something that I will have to inquire on, because the work should be done in workbooks. And then the teacher the parent or the child can take a picture of that page and send it to the teacher. They should be working in those workbooks. So expect the assignments to come in those workbooks, okay? I've spoken to a few teachers already today about posting the weekly specialty schedule, because I get it. And so I just made the assumption that you were getting it too. So I will remind teachers to be sure to post the specialty schedule that is done on a weekly basis, so you know what's coming up. All dismissal for everyone, as long as we are on these tracks, we will stay with a 2 o'clock dismissal. It won't, when you are back in the building, it's not going to be different times, because then I'm dealing with equity issues. And I'm not looking to put any other drama on my plate that can happen when you're dealing with adults. So everybody will still dismiss at 2 o'clock. And then I had a parent ask me about dismissing at 1 instead of 2. My first inclination is that, Mom, are you aware that we used to go to 4? But my real answer is, we are legally bound by the state of New York that we have a certain number of minutes per day for our school. They've also told us that we must have a 180-day calendar. I began the school year 2 weeks before the DOE. So that left me some days to play with so that we had extended breaks. We don't have to have Christmas coming out on Christmas Eve and coming back before New Year's or coming back the day after. We have 2 solid weeks for the Christmas break or winter break. We have 2 weeks for spring break, and we have 1 week full for the midwinter break. So I've utilized those days that we came back early to be sure that we were still meeting 180 days, at least 6 hours a day. Sorry, Mom, we can't dismiss at 1. I think that's it. But please know I can't fix an issue if I don't know it exists. No issue is too small. No issue is silly. If it's something you're thinking about, it's something that matters to you. And I promised you that I would address all of your issues, answer your questions, and if you had any concerns or problems or challenges, that we will do whatever we can do to address it. I'm still trying to send out birthday books. So for those teachers who send me the child's name and address, I'm mailing birthday books to our students. Moms, families, I should say, please fill out the blue card, because one teacher said, will you send a birthday book to a first grader who has a birthday next week? Well, we don't have that child's blue card. And people are moving, and I don't want to send out a gift thinking that the child is going to receive it, and they don't. I'm asking again, parents, to please fill in the blue card so that we have a current and accurate address. Okay? Okay. I'm going to do this maybe every other week so you won't get sick of me being on screen. But I thought that this was the most expeditious way for me to bring everybody up to date and to respond to your concerns. Ms. Jones, don't forget, Ms. Jones is going to put up a portal so you can get to me via Dojo, and it's just to me. One other thing to help us understand to whom you're making reference, I'm Mrs. Jones, and Miss Jones is our communications director. So if you would distinguish, we will know, the two of us will know to whom you want that message to come. Okay? All right. Have a great weekend. It's supposed to be sunny and bright tomorrow. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to use this as an excuse, the rain, to not go outside and exercise, but the gym is still collecting my dues, so I should probably get in my car and go to the gym. So thank you so much. If you've listened to me all the way through, thank you so much. And know that I'm here for you to answer your questions or concerns. So have a great weekend. It's going to be nice, sunny, all the rest of this week after today. So bye-bye, everyone. Thank you.